Hello friends, welcome to Zenier Coding Web Development Platform. In today's session, we are going to create a game development that is a topic under the of Guess My Number. So this is very simple where the computer will fix the number in a system and we need to guess the number between 1 to 100. So for example, I don't know what the computer has been cross-checked or stored in this in the system. So now I'm typing as 5 and I'm clicking this check button. It shows it's too low, so where I need to guess a number which is greater than, maybe I'm just guessing as 10. Now it shows it's too high, so between 5 to 10 the computer definitely will think or register his number. You can notice on here where my maximum, that is the score, I have set it as 20. For example, if my first attempt itself if I'm hitting on the right answer in the sense, then my highest score will be hit as 20. Okay, so now I'm guessing as 8. Now I'm checking, it shows it's too high, so then my guessing number between 5 to 8, maybe 6 or 7 could be my this computer might be think. You can see it shows the correct answer where my score has been reducing and it stored my highest score as 17. So we are going to create this particular example by using the Xenia platform, where we are going to introduce with the part like HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let me see how it works on this. So I have logged in with the platform. So I need to start with my heading title, which is doc type HTML. So next I'm going to use it as my language, which is HTML. Under my language I'm setting as English. So next I'm going to make the head character. So under the heading part, you can use a meta cassette or meta name or meta HTTP as we already discussed on the previous web development. I'm going to skip this and I'm going to use the CSS part to interconnect this. I'm making a style sheet. Next I'm making the reference to be style.css. So next I'm making their title could be Guess My Number. So guess my number. So my heading part is over. Next I'm going for my process under the body tag. So we need to use a smaller case. So under the body tag I'm going to create the header part. Under the header part, where my heading I'm going to set as Guess My Number. So where I'm going to create a paragraph, which is, it should be set between between 1 and 20, and I'm closing this paragraph. So next I need to create the button class. So under the button class it should be repeat again, where I'm making as button again I'm making as again, and I'm closing this button. So you can able to see on the right hand side we have created the button again. Okay, so this again it will process where the system need to think another number. So next I'm going to create, So my header part is over. So next I'm going to create main. So under the main I'm going to create the section of section classes left. So under the left I'm making their input type, which is number, where I'm making their class as guess. So I'm just closing this tag. So next I am going to create a button class. So under the button class I am going to create as button again. So I'm just closing this button. So button class is over. Next I'm going to create, which is division class, where I'm going to make the number, which is question. So now this is over. I'm going to close this session and I'm going to continue off section class, which is left. So under the left I need to create an input type where the user need to type the value. So they will be typing the value of number, and where I'm making their class is they should guess a number. So next for this the button type should be inserted. So button class, where I'm going to insert their button check. So I'm going to check. So now I'm closing this section. So next I'm going to create one more section class of right, and making their paragraph classes, which is message, and it need to start the guessing. You can type any message. I am typing this message. You can type whatever you wish. So next under the class, so I'm going to create a label score. So under the label score, I'm going to process the inline element, which is span class, and I'm making the score, which is the value is 20. So the paragraph is over. Next I need to create the paragraph class of label, which is high score. So where it need to mention of high score. Under this I'm going to add the inline, that is span class of high score, which is it should start from the value of 0. So now I have been closing this paragraph, and I'm closing the section part. So next we need to create the script basis after the main. So I'm going to add the script source, which is app.js. So the body part is over and the HTML part is over. You can see on the right hand side whatever the example we have seen so far, we have recreated on this platform. Next we need to make the styling part as well as the app process. So next on the app part, I'm going to use a JavaScript. Initially I'm going to use useStrict, and we need to console the guess. For this I'm going to create secret number, score and high score. Initially my high score, that is my score, could be 20 and high score should be start from the value of 0. So since the output it should display the secret number, where if the user enter nothing or exclamation means negation, some exclamation we can call it as true to false or false to true. Even my guess has null value, guess will be a true, that is it follows some logic. So next I'm going to create the function where which is a display message, where it should get the value from the user and it should mention the message. It need to select the check button and we need to select the play the game when it is clicked. So this is what the overall process on the JavaScript. So I am going to start with use strict. So under the use strict, I am going to make the secret number. For this I am going to declare the variable as secret number, and next I'm making, since this operation comes under the mathematic, I'm using the math inbuilt function. Next I am creating math trunc where it should display the random number. So math dot random, and it should mention between the 20 plus 1. So next I am going to set let score is equivalent to my highest value is 20 and let high score value it is, I'm going to start with 0. So next I'm going to use console dot log of secret number, and I'm going to display as function display message, and typing as message, curly braces open. Next I'm going to process document dot query selector, dot text content, where it should display the message. So I'm just closing this function part. So next I need to select, that is, we need to select the check button and we need to play the game. For this I'm going to write the function which is document dot query selector message. Maybe I'm going to here, I already create a message. I'm going to create again, where it should get from the query basis, that is backend process. For this using add event listener. It is can be done by the click, and it should start from the function. So where my function could process as the score is highest value is 20, and so again I'm going to create the document dot query selector, where my score of text content should be equivalent to 20. So again I'm going to create document dot query selector, where my high score which is of text content is equivalent to 0. So I'm making their body style background as, which is, maybe you can choose whatever the color. So I'm making their background color. For this I'm making document dot query selector. Next I'm making their body under their style dot background color is equivalent to ash 0. So next I'm making document dot query selector under the number where the text content I'm making as question mark. So next I'm going to make the document dot query selector under the guess I'm making their value to be question, which is a null space, where it should display the message as we can start the playing. So for the secret number, I'm going to write the function secret number, which is equivalent to, since it follows a math operation, I'm using the inbuilt function of math dot trunc, which is already declared on the initial basis, and I'm using the random number which our system have to be chosen. For this, I'm using the inbuilt function of math random, and it should multiply with 20 plus 1. So far this is over. So next we need to process um, the logic, that is the loop condition we need to process. For the document query selector, we need to add the event listener, and it need to click the constant value. Let me see. For this, I'm going to use document dot query selector, and I need to check where my add event listener, which is equivalent to click command function and it should have some constant value. For this, I'm using the constant guess, which is equivalent to document dot query selector, where it should guess the value dot value. So now I'm using the condition, that is, if my guess is less than 1, I'm using the additional operator. You can choose this additional operator from the web browser. Maybe it is not available on the keyboard. So where my guess is greater than 20, and it should display the message as invalid input. Invalid input. So next, else if it is not there, else if I'm using the condition else if my guess is equivalent to exact equivalent to my secret number, then it should display the message as, which is correct number, and it should display the correct number also. So for this, I'm using document query selector dot number, and it show the text content as equivalent to, this is my secret number. So next I'm going to use a document under their body dot style dot background. Their background color I'm making as ash 34cc17. So again I'm going to process the condition. If score is greater than high score, then it should display as high score is equivalent to my score, and where it should fetch the detail from the backend process, from the user, which is high score text content is equivalent to high score. So next I'm using one more condition, that is else if my guess is exactly equivalent to secret number, then it should process if score greater than 1. Then it should display message which is guess is greater than secret number, where I'm using the operator or checking operator as question mark. It used to check, it need to check whether it is too high or it should be too low. This particular thing it will be display when your system set a number. So next, where my score should be reduced, for this I'm using the decrement operator. Again it need to process of document dot query selector, where it should score of text content which is of score else. So it need to process display message. If we didn't find out on the minimum basis in the sense, then it will be we need to show as you lost the game. So these are the options. So we are created, and document dot query selector, and it should show my score, that is text content which is equivalent to 0. So we have done the app.js process, and now we have to do the styling part. So next on the styling part, I'm going to process for the class of star open brace where I'm making the margin to be 0 and the spacing I'm making as 0 and box sizing I'm making as inherit. Next, for the HTML, I'm making their font sizes 62.5%. Next, I'm making their box sizing as border box. So again, for the body tag, I'm making their font family, which is press start 2p and making the sans serif and color could be ash ee. And next I'm making the background color with the property of ash 22. So again I'm moving for my layout. So that is for the header. So under the header I'm making the position to be relative and I'm making their height could be 35 virtual height and making their border bottom could be 7 pixel and it is solid of ash ee. Next, for the main tag, where I'm making their height is 65 virtual height. Again I'm making their color could be ash ee and making their display as flex and align items could be center and making their justify content could be space around. So next I'm moving for my left, right and H1 and number between again button and message and label score. For all these things I'm going to assign this. So I can explain one by one. Under the left, we created the width as 52 rem and display as flex and the direction is column. Next, align item is center. again for the right, I have done their width and font size. So again I am going to make the style for the heading 1, that is H1 part, where their font size is 4 rem and text alignment is center and their position is absolute and width is 100%, top is 52% and left is 50%. Next I'm making their transform translate as -50%. For the number I have created their background, color, font size, width, text alignment, position, button, and even for the left and transform. Similarly, I have created for between, where their font size is 1.4 rem and position is absolute and their top is 2 rem and right is 2 rem. Again for the again I have created their position is absolute and top is 2 rem and left is 2 rem. For the class of guess, where I have done their background is none, border is 4px, font family is inherited, and color is inherited, font size is 5 rem, and padding is 2.5 rem. I have done their width, text alignment, display, and margin. For the button, where I have done their border, background, font size, font family, padding, and cursor to be the pointer. Next for the button hoover, where I've changed the button color as triple C and their message as margin bottom, which is rem, and their height is 3 rem. Again for the label score, I have created the margin button as 2 rem. So let me recollect on the HTML part. If you want to add this image, you can add. I have done the 100 and I have done this medal on this in between this part, and even on the gaming basis, that is on the app, I have added the operator from the web browser. You can choose from the web browser and you can copy this. So let me see in this. So I'm just guessing the number, let it be 5, and clicking this button, it shows as too low, so maybe I'm putting as 10. It shows again as too low. Again I'm choosing as 15. It shows as too high. So I'm making as 12. It shows as too high. So again I'm making as 11. Yes, it shows as a correct number. So again I'm just clicking the again button and refreshing this. And trying clicking again button. Now I am typing as 6. It shows too high. So I'm making as 1. It shows this as correct answer. You can see on the background it is changes according to the background style. So this is a simple example for the web development of game basis using the CSS and HTML and JavaScript concept.